Good morning, everyone. Magooch, what's going down? How's the beach? How's the animals? James, hello, hello. I seen you were live last night, James. I went to go click on it and it shut off. So I think you ended it right when I was about to click on it. I would have fell right back asleep anyways, but hope you guys are doing well. Oh, I did watch it for a second after it. You were in like a museum or a church or something. Looked pretty cool. Those skinny corridors. No way an overweight person would be able to fit through that thing. Those little corridors like that. It's pretty wild. But I hope you guys are doing good. I'm on day number 2 of my peptides. Well, no, today is day number 3 of PBC 157 and TB 500 and NAD plus. Those are the peptides I'm taking. Brosada, tomatoes, plungers. What is that? An eggplant, kisses signs, and 100s. Todd Father's in the house. Todd Father's driving to work this morning. Oh, yes, I'm 10 hours ahead of you. So it's 4 o'clock in 3:19 there p.m. What was the church you were at, James? That looked pretty cool. Looked kind of creepy, though. I was just imagining being, shuffled down one of those hallways, or back in the olden days, you would know who was waiting around some of those corners in those places. But I hope you guys are doing good. I should be working right now, but I figured I'd come on for a little bit and then I'll go to work. So I was going to go to the admin building yesterday, but right when I ended my show, somebody called me and wanted some strawberries and shortcakes. So I did that order, took that to them, goofed around, and I did work yesterday in the kitchen, but I need to go out today and make up for it. It was a castle in Zissa. Going to the doctor first. Doctor for what? Tommy's on the road. Simpson Goomba. Stadaboon. Let's speak Italian. Stadaboon Cugine. Is that how you say goodbye, friend? Stadaboon. You got to say it like in Italian. Stadaboon Cugine. Stadaboon. Is that how you say it, Thindu? Stadaboon. Stadiboon. Stadibuion. Stadibuon, Thindu. Stadibuon. Stay well, cousin, is what that means. Oh, did not know that. Interesting. Okay. So what's everybody got going on today? August is flying by. It's already Tuesday the 18th. I mean, summer's a month away from being over, like for real, but it already feels like it's coming to an end. Okay, stop. Shut up. If I want to talk Italian, I'll talk Italian. You're lucky I can't think of any more words right now. Hold on. Where's Gianni at? Gianni always says them. Damn, where's Gianni been at? Johnny's been, something happened with Gianni, right? His father-in-law's sick or something. Hope he's all right. Gianni's always speaking Italian. Stadiboon. I know Cugine. God dang it. What else is there? He says he can't laugh. Oh, Tommy's got the Stones going. Literally the Rolling Stones. Tommy's in the car with the Rolling Stones right now. While I was reading up on it, you need a heat pad, blood thinners, alpha blockers, drink lots of water, no alcohol, not supposed to drink a lot of caffeine. Yeah, lots of water. Use slice of Wonder Bread, noodles and spaghetti sauce. That's what we call it at my house. All tomato sauce or spaghetti sauce around here, okay? If it's in a jar and it's got tomatoes in it, it's spaghetti sauce. And they're noodles. All pasta is noodles, whether it's spaghetti or whatever those other kind of noodle shapes are. Bow ties, circles, cylinders, noodles. All right. What do we got going on today? A lot of bullshit. A lot of fucking bullshit. This is just going to be nothing but complaints. I'm going to complain and bitch and get out of here. The only thing I'm not going to complain about is the peptides. It's the only thing that's going on right now that I feel is worth a fucking damn. And that's the truth. Dean Dude's had it with my Italian. He says, say one more thing. Ooh, I seen a pizza today. Did I bookmark it? I might have. I should have. I watched him make this pizza today. It was nothing but a pie with the tomato sauce on it. And then the guy just poured a whole bunch of oil into the pan, threw that bad boy in the oven, into the wood-fired oven. And he brought it back out, and it was just sizzling. That oil was just sizzling. Then they took mozzarella, big old slices of mozzarella. I think it was mozzarella. Is mozzarella, can it come in slices? I'm pretty sure it can. And he just layered it. You just thought he was done putting cheese on it. He put a little bit more cheese on there. And he threw it back in the oven. This time on the other side, where I think it's like the heat comes from the top like a broil. And it got that cheese all melted and sizzling brown and bubbling on there. And then he just took it and he just threw it right onto the fucking tray. And I never seen this pizza slicer before. It's like a machine. He just went cocoon, and then it rotated cocoon again. Just pressed down on it. Cocoon, cocoon. And it sliced it, and he just threw it into the fucking tray. It looked, oh my God, it looked good. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully I bookmarked it. I probably didn't. I was probably... No, but here's a picture of Todd Father's pizza. This is what Todd Father's pizzas look like when they come out of the oven. All misshapen and shit. What the fuck is that? That is the most fucked up looking pizza I ever seen. You can't even cut that thing. I don't think I bookmarked it. Nope. I could probably find it to hold on. Nope. 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 Damn. I should have bookmarked it. Oh, here it is. I'm muted. Call me an American, but that looked good as hell to me. I don't know about all the oil. Todd Father says it's sloppy. Oh my gosh. And we know that wasn't your pizza, okay? You make perfectly round pizzas. But don't be hating on this one. What do you mean sloppy? He said sloppy. That looks good as hell. He said sloppy. Hating on that pizza. Oh my goodness. I seen that this morning. I was like, I would try it. All right, let me get back to the bookmarks before Todd pisses me off already in his brand new truck. Trump, I don't know. Did you guys hear anything about who else is in the chat? Hold on. Stoney's here. What's up, Stony Tony? I seen somebody else too. Gerard Shelley. Good morning, all driving and listening. Osada Italian classes start tomorrow morning at 8. Make sure you're present. Yep. Stoddy Boone. I can eat about 3 Calandras pizzas right now. Pizza, I could eat pizza every day. Pizza's like sex. Even when it's bad, it's good. Exactly. I'd rather order Domino's, says Todd Father. Well, I order Domino's more than I should. I need to fact check something real quick. Hold on. Okay, never mind. There was this reader's added context where it said North Korea launched a ballistic missile towards our allies in recent days, which that's not what Google says. Google says that North Korea launched a missile in between the Sea of Japan and North Korea in a U.S. South Korean joint military exercise. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. Anyway, Trump tweeted. This was a couple days ago. That basically he's asking. He told Pete Hegseth to reduce the amount of participation we take in these military exercises. He's saying no thanks because they're expensive and this and that. I don't know. I don't like where that's headed. Anyway, Pete Hegseth, as far as I know, he announced, I believe, that he's running for president for 2028. Did anybody hear that? I guess that's like breaking news. Patty, hello. Where are all the girls? Yeah, exactly. We're doing Italian classes every day now. Here. Let me see. I'll look up a word here and I'll try to pronounce it to you guys. Hofame. What does that mean? Hofame. Hofame. Anybody know what that means in Italian? Hofame. Hofame. Pete Hegseth, I really don't know much about him, but just heard bad stuff. He's an idiot. Yeah, I mean, the thing about him is he is 100% a Zionist, pro-Israeli, works for shekels, totally in bed with Israel. We don't want him as president. We don't want him. We don't want Marco Rubio. If it's JD Vance, who knows what the fuck's going to happen? You know, big tech is going to take over. But we definitely don't want Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth, because the people that killed Charlie Kirk and, you know, that killed all the little schoolgirls in Iran 3 times, they bombed that school and made sure they killed all those little girls, that send dogs over to rape people in Gaza and shit like that. Those are the people that will be taking over office. We don't want that. We have to avoid that. I'd rather have Gavin Newsom or AOC than those guys. If you said it right, we would know. Ho fame. Ho fame. What does that mean? That's the Italian phrase. Ho fame. Somebody's got to know what that means. Right? Am I saying it wrong? Hold on. English to Italian. Ho fame. Ho fame. O fame. O fame. Oh, why is this motherfucker saying it different every time? O fame. O family. O famine. Offer me. Offer me. O fame. Are you sure it's Italian? Sounds Chinese. Dean, do you get up there and say it? I'll say it one more time. Oh, Femi. Oh, Femi. Oh, Femi. Hold on. Oh, Femi. Oh, Femi. Yep. Oh, Femi. Oh, Femi. Oh, oh, Femi. Before we have to mute. All right, let's move on. Yeah, so let me fact check this. Is Pete Hegseth running for president? No. He's not running for president. He is currently serving. Yeah, we know that. No official campaign. Hegseth has made no official announcement. Recent political travel, such as a personal capacity trip to the early voting state of Ohio, has led associates and media observers to speculate that he could be a potential future contender for higher office or the presidency after his tenure. I mean, everybody's jumping ship. So I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't either. I mean, is there anybody left besides the people that like literally were next door neighbors with Jeffrey Epstein, like Howard Lutnick, who was literally his next door neighbor? Everybody else is gone, you know, unless they're just like 100% a Zionist shield, like Mike Johnson, Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, you know, those guys ain't going nowhere. Not until it's time for them to run for president. Seems like the people we like for office never make it to nomination. 100%. That's the game, right? Minnesota. So this is at a rally in Minnesota, or this could be Michigan. I always get them mixed up. No, this says Minnesota, 2026. So isn't Dearborn, Michigan, where it's like the main Muslim town, but I guess Minnesota has the Somalians? Tyson Foods is shutting down operations of 2 beef plants, one in Joplin I've been there, Joplin, Missouri. Remember, that's where they had that huge tornado. Illinois, and the other. So Joplin, Illinois, and the other in Eagle Mountain. Okay, that's 3. Due to a cattle shortage. The third plant in Pasco, Washington, that's here, that's Eastern Washington, Tri-Cities, is looking for a buyer. They will shift processing to other facilities. Joplin alone had 2,500 employees. Kind of that scene, it literally kind of reminds me of the movie Gung Ho, when Michael Keaton took over that car plant, and it was all about automation, and that was a great movie. Every year there are good people that seem to try to get too far. Only the weirdos get in. So true. Yeah. You never seen Gung Ho? Yeah, it was really good because it talks about Kaizenizing and the Japanese Toyota model and how you do everything together. You work together. You live together. You do everything together. Golf together. These guys would even bathe together, like in the Japanese will like bathe in these hot spring type of things. They just, and it's they become like a family unit. And they do that because the idea is that everything is done purposely at the most efficient rate possible. There's no extra movements, no extra moving parts. Cut out all the fat. It's a perfect kludge, It creates. It's not feasible for humans to operate at that level, though, because there's just no room for, and we've gotten to the point now where they're just like, fuck it. We have everything we need. We have robots and automation. We don't need you guys anymore for anything. It's been a slow progression, but with these Tyson plants, I mean, it's just complete speculation. But number one, we have all of the fake meat that's came out. We showed the video of Benjamin Netanyahu. Literally, Israel has the patents to steak. We watched the video. We'll watch it again real quick. Might as well. If we can find it. It's hard to find these videos sometimes. I'm sure you guys remember the video, though. It was Benjamin Netanyahu. And does this have anything to do with these plants closing down?
Did Palestinian government, which would...
Yeah, I don't know where the video's at, but it's basically just like, you go to McDonald's, you just choose on the screen what type of steak you want, and the 3D printer prints it out. You can choose how much fat you want. I mean, the whole thing. So obviously that's what they want. Can vegetarian eat the fake meat? I don't think so, because I think it's actually comes from the cells of animals. A lot of it is actually, what they do is they take, they just take a living starter piece of meat and grow it using, basically probably a lot of the stuff that we're injecting into ourselves now with the, it's all got to be related. The peptides and the stem cells and all that kind of stuff, But that's where we're at. They've got fake butter, fake dairy, and then we have the alpha gal syndrome carrying ticks that if you get bit by them, you get the red meat allergy. You're also allergic to a lot of dairy products that you can die if you eat meat after you get that syndrome. So this is not good. This affects this affects everything, because this affects the trucking industry. The reason why, I've been to a Tyson plant, and the reason why I went to Joplin, Missouri is because I just wanted to go on a road trip with my buddy Brian. And you see a lot of things around the country normal people just don't see, like the Tyson chicken plants and, those different processing plants and stuff. And some of them are fucking disgusting, by the way. They just smell horrible. They could shut down for all I care. But yeah, and what do they mean by a cattle shortage? Isn't there, I think there's like 2 billion cows. I don't know if that's globally or in the United States. It's a good question. I personally think that we've probably all eaten fake meat already. The alpha gal syndrome from the ticks.
Why it's falling apart? Look how easy to come off.
People just saying their steaks don't look right. Bill Gates eating his own fake meat here.
That's great. Agricultural emissions are one of the most difficult to get rid of. People have come up with alternative food, but what we're seeing is that it's hard to get more than a small market share. And those foods just don't taste the same. Savor's made an advance in the chemistry. It's ultra different in terms of the environmental footprint, but it's as good as those real animal fats.
At Savor, we've been really excited to explore a new technical approach to making food that does not require vast amounts of land or animal suffering. It doesn't, produce greenhouse gases. It's a totally non-agricultural method for producing food. The fats that Savor makes are made by a thermochemical process. They are the only foods in the world so far that are made entirely without photosynthesis.
Happy to have you here. We're gonna have a meal together. Everything has been.
And this right here should tell you guys that this is not science fiction. This is as real as it gets. When you have Bill Gates involved, you already know. That dude gets what he wants. As much as we all hate him, when you see him doing this, and then you see the Tyson plant shutting down, this is really happening, and it doesn't really take a rocket scientist to figure out what's the outcome. You know what I mean? Because, well, let's just finish watching this video real quick.
Made with Savor fat, different kind of formulation of Savor fat in it. Everything we're trying to showcase here is that sustainable food needs to be craveable as well in order to get to mass adoption and mass market. We think that butter is very special and it fits very well our technology because it's hard to replicate animal butter. It has a very complex composition when it comes to fatty acid. What do you think?
That's great. Oh, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that wasn't butter.
Okay, that's great.
What shall we try next?
Next is burger and fries. So in this, we have a different kind of formulation. So it's our Savor.
What he didn't tell you, though, here is that he's not actually eating fake meat. He's actually eating human, probably. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, give me a baby burger. They can just think it's the fake meat.
tallow formulation, and then we have fries, and then we have aioli.
That's quite good.
Here we are looking for juiciness. We're looking for what we think is so far missing in the alternatives we find on the market. All of them are using plant oils. So like the American profile is different, the mouthfeel is different. And so how do we get to something juicy and drippy and craveable? So now we have the end of this journey, which after burger, we're just gonna get ice cream. And this is what they're looking for, something which is truly pleasurable and past beyond what we find very often on the market.
Fried chocolate now. And we've got strawberry here.
Yes.
It's got that rich feel. So the dream here is that Savor itself will be coming out with butter in the next year or two. And then for these other products, Savor will be a key ingredient to help them achieve food that is environmentally friendly, but also tastes great.
Yep. And that's where we are. So if you were a cow, you spent your time on Earth being slaughtered to feed the humans. And now they're going to be slaughtered to force humans to eat. It's just so weird because why create the illusion that you're eating animal if you're not really eating animal? You know what I mean? There's a whole psychological thing to that, to food. You know what I mean? I think it's a huge way that we're controlled too. You know, the fear of starvation, and it's wild, man. Wild times. Mystery meat, Soylent Green, all of the above. Effing Gates. Be normal. We're all gonna die anyway. What are they trying to accomplish? Ego out of control. If the food and cigarettes don't kill you, the sun will. Ain't that the truth? He acts like he's trying to save the world. Yeah, when what he's trying to do is make more money. You know, he's trying to it's like a you know, a pissing contest between him and Elon and Bezos and Zuckerberg of who can make the most money, you know, in this country. They call those guys the Four Horsemen. Why not save money instead of buying each other? Let's eat each other. Exactly. Why try to pretend it's meat? Yeah. Yeah, because at some point, there's not going to be the correlation between a cow and a hamburger. If it goes, you know what I mean? You go one generation removed from laboratory grown food, you don't even need to show the cow in the pictures anymore. You don't need to have the cows at the state farms. You don't need to have little kindergartners drawing pictures of cows and explaining to them that milk comes from cow. All that is just going to be gone. You don't need it anymore. It's not true. How come I can't eat a horse? Well, they've proven that that we've eaten horse in like hot dog meat and stuff like that. That was a huge scandal where there was horse. They were finding horse meat in hot dogs, amongst probably other things. You know, you gotta be careful with them hot dogs. Anything that says mechanically separated meat, you know, that's the pink slime stuff, where they use bleach and ammonia to clean all the bacteria and everything out of it, sterilize it, and then they reintroduce color and flavor into it. But they take all the flavor and the color out of it, and then they put it back in artificially. That's like, I think McDonald's and all those guys, you know, pink slime. My uncle said it's because horses are majestic. Yeah, it is all taboo psychological stuff. You know, there's history behind all that stuff, I'm sure. Yep, there's the fake meat. It's not going anywhere. But back to the 2,500 people that lost their job at the Tyson plant. more and more and more people are losing their jobs, and they're not going to get them back. This isn't a temporary shutdown. I'm going to ask the computer something. Why is there a U.S. cattle shortage? The cattle inventory has shrunk to roughly 86 million head, its lowest level in 75 years, down from a peak of around 130 million. The shortage is driven by several multiple-year droughts in major grazing regions, which that's the government doing that, high operational costs for feed and fuel, government, limits on live cattle imports, and slow biological recovery cycle. So they're saying number one is drought and pasture loss. Expenses for diesel, equipment, maintenance. Because of all the high costs, the ranchers have been forced to sell off large portions of their herds. Culling, they call it, rather than keeping them. There's a whole bunch to that story we're not being told. You know? What does that even mean? You know, when they say that they sell them off to who? China? Who's got all that meat? You know? It's really just, it's fucking bad, guys. Bad. And where are all those people going to go? You know? I know where they're going to go. They're going to go into the home baking industry. Let's do a science experiment. Adam commented the other that if you take a hot dog and put it in vinegar, worms crawl out. Oof. Put a hot dog in vinegar. That's got to be. Yeah, I would hope that's you know, because that's why they do they basically nuke all of that stuff. Even like vegetables and stuff go through radiation. And Gen X, what's going down? That's what happens when a poultry company gets in the beef processing business. Yeah, because Tyson was chicken, right? It's all just an agenda, in my opinion. They knew this was coming. You know, I mean, back in 2021, I remember when my buddy Brian got the trucking job. I warned him that it would be about 5 years and truckers would be losing their jobs left and right because of automation and the self-driving trucks, because that was like big back in 2020. Then he did it, and when I went on a road trip with him, you know, the talk was with all the truckers that the freight was slow. You know, nobody was getting people weren't getting a lot of work like they used to, you know, this and that. And that was before the gas prices went to where they were at. Fuck. It's like double what it was then. I mean, so I still love a burned hot dog and nothing. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, it really is just a matter of mind over matter, you know? Because I walk into the meat market at the butcher shop, you know, and I look at the guy that runs the place, and I think, if he was approached, what would he do? Would he sell out all his customers and put fake meat in there to make money? Or maybe possibly under threat? Or is this all, you know what I mean? Because I truly believe that, you know, you gotta be careful where you eat at. Anywhere. Any of those, you know, little food trucks and stuff, you don't know shit. Better off at eating at home. But even then, I don't know though, like, if you had the opportunity, you know, is it going to come down to one day where everybody has a food printer in their house? If you need a steak, you can just print it off yourself. you know, or go to so-and-so's house. Hey, you know, I didn't pay my power bill. Can I use your printer real quick? I need to get some sugar. Hot dogs taste like shit. Teach your kids trades, painting, roofing, plumbing. AI can't do that stuff yet. It's true. It is true. I mean, you just have to be super, super flexible. And I mean, I wish I had better advice. This says 2026 is going to be my year, and then this is me in August. I actually looked like that the other day. I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. I was like, oh my God. Not getting any younger. Came across this video.
Bring on the animals. Let's go. First of all,
Robert Irwin here, Steve Irwin's son. Steve was 44 years old when he died. This kid's 22. Looks a lot like his dad. I wonder what their affiliation is with, you know, like if they're Zionists, or I have a feeling just by looking at the people at that table that, yeah.
this is a snake.
You know, they can use people like this kid to, you know, he's got a lot of influence because he handles all those animals. So I wonder what his ideology is, you know. I eat venison hot dogs. They are fantastic. Patty says she actually looks like, that's funny. Today is going to be your day. Yep, every day is a new day. Venison hot dogs, huh, Gerard? Damn. I wish I could say that even sounded remotely good. Something about venison, the name of it, and just eating deer. I love deer. I just can't do it. No way in hell would I ever eat deer. I did try elk one time. The backstrap. My buddy was a hunter. You know, people rant and rave about backstraps of the elk. I just can't do it. I'm not a wild game type of person, but people love that stuff. Erica Kirk put out a tweet yesterday that said Islamification is not compatible with America or with the U.S. Constitution. And somebody put, the Jews murdered her husband inside a menorah, and this bitch is still blaming Islam for our country's issues. And then a clown emoji. And if people don't know what that means, you know, that little place at UVU, it is the shape of a menorah, and it's definitely looks like a place where you could have, a sacrifice or something like that. But the thing is with these people and how evil they are, they love to use that word against us, evil, but they truly are evil. You know, none of us want a bunch of Muslims in this country, you know, but they've been doing this to us for too long now, for the last 20 something years. They blamed these guys for 9/11. It wasn't them. You know, they're blaming the gays, the leftists, whatever you want to call them, the trans community for killing Charlie Kirk. Wasn't them. You know, these Islamist people that they're bringing in the country, they're bringing them in. You know, they're bringing them in, and they can get rid of them overnight if they want to, but it's just all to cause division, and you know, it's just sickening. I'm so over the fucking propaganda in this country, you know. Sometimes my day is going bad. I go home and have coffee and start over. That's all you can do sometimes, right? What's up, Adam? Hello. Adam and all his positive videos out there. The hot dog worm thing. Yeah, we were talking about the hot dog worm thing. Grateful, good morning. Adam says, good morning, Anthony. Anthony who? Is ALV here? Did I miss ALV? That went right over my head. Good morning, Anthony. A lot of this stuff is out of my pay range. Yeah, I get it, Stony. It's out of all of our pay range, but what are you going to do? Let's keep it moving. I got things to do today. Why are there so many gay people these days? There was not this many 20 years ago. Genuinely, what the fuck is going on? They are fucking everywhere now. I don't know who Eric Spracklin is. He's got 300,000 followers. America only. I have a hard time governing my neighborhood. I hear that. This whole gay thing, it's crazy because these people have artificially created this whole movement of LGBTQ, which is actually not a real thing. It's not a real thing. It's just an artificially made up fucking thing. Like they make up all this other fucking bullshit these days. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, ISIS, Hamas. It's all just made up bullshit. All of it. But they've made it to where it is a fact. There is a large number of gay people out there now. A lot. We all know this. In fact, there's a lot of people that have gay people in their families. I mean, it's got to that point where there's, I don't know what the percentages are, but it's a lot. If you don't have a gay person in your family, you probably know at least one gay person, if not a whole bunch of gay people. So it's not a good or bad. It's not about being good or bad. It's just a fact. That is true, right? A lot of gay people out there now. Then you have the people that created these artificial movements like LGBTQ in disguise, because they'll prop up somebody and say, oh, this is the person that created it. No. This is an intelligence agency type of movement. And then they kill Charlie Kirk and they blame it on the gays when it wasn't the gays. And, even if it was Tyler Robinson and Lance, those guys aren't gay. They're gay. And they're definitely not like part of some, it's all, if you look at it, like prove it. They're not even have anything to do with that shit. So the whole thing is that they're just gaslighting, they can't, it's not good enough that we don't fight enough as it is in this country, which we're trying to get along. So they got to make us fight, they got to find, if we tried hard enough, like Grateful and I could find a reason to disagree right now. Maybe I don't like bears in my yard. Maybe she does, Oh, okay. Well, guess what? We don't need to be friends. Stony likes indica. I like sativa. Guess what? We don't need to be friends. In fact, I want your business to fail because you like indica. I mean, that's the gaslighting level that these people are at, It's crazy. We have to put a stop to it. Every day it's just more and more and more. And a lot of people don't realize what they're doing, So, and they use the fact that everybody hates Trump so bad that they can't see what's really going on, back there. Grateful says she's not a big fan. All designed to divide us and keep us divided, 100%. Except for the pedos. Let them live. I'm with Tony. Affects me, except for the pedos. That's another thing. This is the future is going to laugh at us, says Adam. That could age very well, Adam. I don't care who anyone fucks. Osada, did you hear about Candace and the debate? Osada, I didn't really hear about Candace and the debate. Did you? Oh, yeah. There was a whole bunch about that, Patty. But seriously, not that many 20 years ago. Where's the one I wanted to? Oh, the pedos. So we do have a pedophile, what do you call him? Alex Rosen, the guy that goes and catches all the pedophiles. But this is how fucked up these people are. This is what I'm talking about. This is why they will kill Charlie Kirk and blame the left or the gays. You know, they will flood the country with these people from Somalia or whatever, and then start talking about how Islamification of America is that's so dangerous, and you know all this. They're creating these hostile environments. Well, Alex Rosen, he goes around busting pedophiles. Come to find out, he's like best friends with Chud the Builder. He calls people the N-word for no reason. So the one good guy that we have out there that's busting pedophiles, lo and behold, it's a bait and switch. If you're a supporter of the guy catching pedophiles, guess what? Then that means you're a racist. That means you might as well join the Ku Klux Klan, because that's who that guy is. I mean, you can't make this shit up. Live definitely, but they want you to join in their fantasy and address them as a woman. That's where, yeah. See, and that's when we say it doesn't affect us. It does, you know, because it'll affect you where, especially if you have kids or grandkids, you know, and then the public school system, I guarantee that's where it's going to start affecting everybody. And the teachers know that better than anybody, you know, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse out there for that, unfortunately. I think it's social media fault that we are seeing people lose their mind. 100%. That's got a lot to do with it. You know, it's good and bad, because it's exposing a lot of these people. You know, the addiction don't care who you are, right? And addiction comes in all forms. It doesn't have to be a drug. It doesn't have to be gambling. It can be social media. And it doesn't matter if you're the president of the United States. You can become addicted to it. And that's a lot of these people are. They cannot stay away from tweeting on X. They just can't help themselves. They have to do it. And, you know, it exposes a lot of stuff. We should lessen the time for punishing pedos, like turn blind eye. We should lessen the time for punishing pedos, like turn blind eye. Yeah, I mean, it should just be instantaneous. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the bears in my yard. No, I know, Grateful. That was probably a bad example, because I love bears, but who would want them in their yard? You know what I mean? That's just a bad idea all the way around. But what can you do about it? You know what I mean? Put a sign up. Bears, please do not, you know, put out like a little peace offering on the sidewalk, like a fucking some bacon fat. Here, take this. Stay out of my yard. X is very toxic. And you know, it's so bad that, I mean, I don't know why. I mean, if it wasn't for the Charlie Kirk thing, I would already canceled it. You know, it's only because of Candace and the Charlie Kirk that I even look at X, you know, and there's a lot of cool stuff on there, you know, but it's just far and few between, you know. It's just so many influencers, paid influencers and bots, and, you know, it's just not worth it. Yeah, I would never recommend X. I do recommend my buddy's Peptide, so. I want to be happy with full bellies playing roly-poly in their mountain. Oh, yeah, the bears. Sony says, Grateful, you don't like bears in your yard? 3 months ago, just eating out dinner, a trans woman, that means a man with a wig, went crazy in my face because I refused to address him as a woman. I wish I would have taken my camera out. It would have went viral, or maybe they would have just shut my channel down. Who knows? Her milkshakes bring all the bears to the yard. Yeah, that's unfortunate, Adam. Those people are nuts. But, you know, as crazy as they are, I mean, to think that, you know, just think about that. Just think about if you're, you know, let's just say you're a total introvert, kind, stick to yourself, but you want to be a furry. You know, you're a trans person. Of course, nobody likes you or doesn't like whatever. If that isn't bad enough, now you have them saying that a trans person killed Charlie Kirk, and everybody, you know, and it obviously was not a trans person, unless those security guards are trans. You know, unless they're secretly trans, then maybe a trans person killed Charlie Kirk. If the security is. It's bullshit, but that's what they're doing to everybody. They're gaslighting all these different, and they're going to gaslight us too. We're next. So we're all, you know, I mean, we have to push back, guys. We just have to. And that's why we're doing the show for an hour or two a day. And, you know, if anything, we don't obsess over it, but we're aware of it, you know, because like Charlie Kirk said, it's all about pattern recognition and a lot of this stuff. You may not know all the details, but you recognize the patterns. You can call the bullshit. This lady's making the news all of a sudden. Natalie Harp. Have you guys ever heard of Natalie Harp? If you haven't, you will. Why will you hear her name? I still haven't figured that out yet. But she is all up in the news right now.
Thank you, Mr. President. You know, we all been.
So I thought maybe maybe she's being thought of for the replacement for press secretary or something. But apparently when a few days ago, when Trump had some type of assassination threat, when he was in Turkey, he moved to a decoy plane or something. He moved to another plane, and he was with this chick on the plane, and nobody else knew about it. And so all of his aides and the cabinet and everybody else was on Air Force One, the one that had the threat against it, and him and this chick. So everybody's saying, where's Melania at? You know, ain't nobody seen Melania lately. So yeah, is Trump fucking this chick? Wouldn't surprise me one bit. Could be grateful for sure. So it's the backside, the peach. Yeah, I don't know. I tried to find out a little information on her, like who she is, because she just all of a sudden showed up on X out of nowhere. I never heard of her before. We'll hear more about her, I'm sure. Listen to Trump talk about the blockade in Iran.
You said that you would soon declare the Strait of Hormuz to be a territory of the United States. Could you elaborate?
Well, I just think it's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, we control it. We control it with the blockade. We have a blockade. We control it with the blockade. And I like the idea of declaring it a territory.
Why might you do that?
We have total control over the strait. Now, they can be a nuisance. They can put a mine in the water, and people don't like having mines hit their billion-dollar ships, you know, et cetera. But the blockade has been very effective. And, you know, we're taking out, and now maybe that will stop, or maybe it'll open up even further, but we're taking out millions of barrels of oil a week. If you look at the kind of numbers of. Oh, yeah, faggot. Well, how come the price of gas is so high then, motherfucker? We're doing, the strait is open, and the oil prices are coming down, and they will continue to come down. Yeah, right. Unless we decide to do. I filled up my truck yesterday. I paid $4.79 at the cheapest place in Washington State. Something far more drastic than we're doing. Iran is in big trouble. They have 300% inflation. The country's a mess, and the military is totally defeated. What?
He is the most failed human being of all time. Let me get him with his mouth open.
You said that you would soon declare the Strait of...
It's totally defeated.
You said that you would soon declare the Strait of Hormuz...
Totally defeated.
There he is. That's what he looks like when he's sucking Benjamin Netanyahu's dick. What a fucking piece of shit Trump is. I mean, my God. Ever since I was little, I knew about gay men. I was surprised when I learned about lesbians. I thought only men were. Oh, interesting. Yeah, hit the Adam's apple. No pun intended. I'm sure this has something to do with my grandmother's disgust of the idea of the same sex. Yeah, I mean, back then it was like super taboo. Elder abuse. Let Trump just go away. He's such a son of a bitch, the motherfucker. He let us down so bad. I mean, such a lying prick. Can't fucking stand him. He's done nothing for us.
You said that you would soon declare the Strait of Hormuz to be a
I
territory...
mean, not to be negative, but this is the complaint department, I guess, right? Raytheon has accelerated production of the Tomahawk cruise missile as part of the Department of War's Arsenal of Freedom. They were given a 7-year contract by the government, Raytheon, which Erica Frantzvey's mother, Lori Frantzvey, huge part of Raytheon. God, I can't stand these guys either, but we'll listen to it. This is the little fallout of the Candace Owens interview. Adam Sosnick and Patrick Bet-David.
And people always ask me, what happened with Candace? What happened with Candace? This is my opinion. I think she said political content is declining. But you know what's not declining? Conspiracy theories, murder mysteries, pop culture. Jeffrey Dahmer's the #1 show on Netflix. So like a Scooby-Doo type thing. She's like, I'm going to follow the crowd. And you win the crowd, you win your freedom. And I actually respect that. I don't respect the methodology which she's doing it, which is basically trampling on a widow's, on a widow and her kids.
So,
but I respect the fact what her game plan is.
Guess what? Then TPUSA, sue her. Then
They're
TPUSA,
probably considering it.
Do something.
Well, did you see the part where he asked her point blank, will you say on camera right now that Erica Kirk or
Wait, the big mic drop's coming, guys. PBD's big mic drop's coming. You guys are not going to believe this.
TPUSA were involved in the murder? She said, I won't say that.
It's a lawsuit, but she's already said it a couple other times.
She's already insinuated so many times. That's the challenge I have.
But listen.
Did she not say straight to jail? Straight to jail.
There's
monopoly.
There's not a lot of things. There's not a lot of, because right now, nothing matters more than Charlie Kirk to me. Nothing.
I love that you just said that.
Nothing matters more to me than Charlie. My loyalty, and by the way, just so everybody says, all you guys did it for money. Just so you know, they offered to pay me to go. Let me, just so the audience.
Make sure you put the camera on me. I don't want anybody else in the frame when I say this, guys. Zoom in on me. I'm about to do a mic drop here. I'm about to let the world know I did this for free, okay? I didn't do this for money. I did this for free for my friend Charlie Kirk.
Knows this is the part nobody knows. I didn't take a penny for this thing.
No one cares, PBD. Literally, no one. The pizza. Before I play this, we will. So egotistical. Yes, he is. Little Candace video. We might have already watched this one. I'm not sure.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill and you can just keep saying, so what? You take the red pill. You learn everything about the Tyler Robinson case.
So what? So what? So what? So what?
Positive evidence? So what? So what? When? Appeal to emotion? So what? Burden of proof? So what? So what? So what? So what? Appeal to emotion? So what? Burden of proof? So what? Positive evidence? Positive evidence? Positive evidence? Positive evidence? So what? So what? So what? Appeal to emotion? What? So what?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop!
The debatrix. Gotta love it. I'm sure it was fun time, Stoney, my very good friends. Osada presidents have always been pieces of shit. It's a good point, Adam. Over 700 billion people in the world. 700 billion? And we always get a piece of shit to lead us. So sad. Yes. I think there's 9 billion people. 700 billion. God, that would be a crowded planet. They say there's been 120 billion people that have lived and died, though, on Earth. Where's all the cemeteries at? Do they even build any new cemeteries anymore? Speaking of Soylent Green. But yeah, I know you're right, Adam. They always have been. And, it's true because out of all the people on the planet, we always get the garbage pails. It's because in order to join you have to be a member of a party to become president. And in order to join a party, you're voted in. It's 250,000 to get into either party, but it's by invitation only. So, and that's with any position, And if they don't, if I were to run in Tacoma and they didn't want me to win, they would just donate money to somebody else and pour so much money into that they could do it that way, or they can just rig elections. It's a good question. I have never seen a cemetery being built. Yeah, it is weird, right? All right. I do have a Victor Marx video too somewhere. Alex Jones, this guy's flipped so many times in the last year, it's not even funny. It's hard to even know which direction he's turning anymore. Most inconsistent guy on the internet, Alex. The fuck? Are you on our side or not? But he turned on Tim Pool, which is good.
Look, the reason I'm pissed off at Tim Pool and everybody like him is very simple. Israel spent $1.3 billion officially out of the Knesset to pay for U.S. influencers to attack anybody that's against the Iran war.
And that's enough of that one. This one is really weird. I didn't even know about this one. This is Erica Kirk's former boyfriend, NBA player Josh Harrells. Anybody know she went out with the NBA player? Well, they were in China, and I don't know if this is in China, but they were doing work with kids.
Former UK Wildcat Josh Harrelson is part of this family. Josh was a fan favorite at Kentucky, but the Houston Rockets forward has become a favorite of these children, and he is a fan of theirs also.
I guess the personal satisfaction is just seeing all these kids smile, being able to interact with them. I'm only 5'11", making them jump up and down, calling the little ones my girlfriends. You haven't been my girlfriend yet. Even if it's only for 5 minutes, I still with them. That's 5 minutes that they might not have been happy before. So just putting a smile on these kids' faces and letting them share.
Yeah, we're very thankful for that and the opportunity for, again, those kids to meet the idols that they see playing on the TV.
Seeing people like this that are so happy when they have, things wrong with them makes me even more happy for all the great things I have in my life.
Former UK Wild.
Just not comfortable with it. If I didn't know he wasn't with Erica Kirk, it wouldn't be a big deal. She's been implicated in all kinds of stuff, and everybody around her with sex trafficking and her little foundations with these kids and stuff like that. It's all tied to Epstein and all that shit. So I don't know who this dude is, I wouldn't want anybody associated with that group of people touching my kids. I know that. And the motherfuckers wearing sweatpants too, calling these little kids his girlfriend, calling them their girlfriend. What? Is that normal? You know, if you're a guy that comes over and you're going to help out all the kids, you guys can all be my girlfriend. Is that normal? I don't remember that. Be assessed for that, kids hanging all over him. I hate that we have to, right? Yeah. I'm not okay with it at all. And I mean, seriously, too, I'm just not. It's fucking creepy. Hopefully we hear more about that shit. This is Andrew Wilson, the dude who baited Candace Owens. This is his wife, Rachel Wilson, attacking a chick with a speech impediment.
Oh, he apologized.
How about you don't physically attack my husband? How about you don't come over around the table and shove his chair thinking you can get away with that shit?
I can't believe it's been like over a year and you still have, I get it because we haven't met personally, but you did berate me already.
Hang on, let's just pretend your husband came across.
No, I get it. I get what you
and
mean.
did the same exact thing to her.
You motherfucker.
I say,
if you're going to talk shit to me, no, not right now. I'm not talking about right now. I'm saying if you're going to talk shit, I'm saying, and the other time, if you're going to talk shit, if you're going to mock me and ridicule me, then expect me to be a self-advocate.
You.
Oh, shake harder, crazy lady.
Not so much fun now. Somebody can defend me.
No, it's not so much fun when she has to confront somebody who can defend themselves.
In a lot of cultures, it would be very embarrassing to have your wife.
In a lot of cultures, it would be embarrassing to get your face punched in by that guy's wife over honor.
No violence.
Okay, so are you threatening?
Those guys are just so. That wasn't the video I was thinking of. There's actually another clip where she's making fun of her speech impediment. That dude is just, man. I don't know where they find these guys. They're not even men. You know, I don't know what to call that guy, where these people came from, but my God. Why is everyone so angry? Right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is the one.
What do you contribute?
She doesn't trust herself.
You can't
She doesn't trust really.
You're not even deaf and you can't speak. Why? Explain yourself. What do you contribute?
She doesn't trust herself.
You can't even
She doesn't trust really.
You're not even deaf and you can't speak. Why?
You're not even deaf and you can't speak. You can't even speak. That's just, I mean.
When people say sex with men, you immediately think of like butt sex. I mean, it's hard to be graphic, but that's kind of like where the mind goes, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't that. So I don't want to be like, okay, I did this thing, but that part of it didn't happen but it didn't. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know that matters, but that's the only part of it that I'm like, it wasn't full-fledged, man. It was that like you'll experiment with in college. You know, I never went to college, so maybe that explains it. But it's not a shame thing.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like that's a bit of a broad category that was more specifically, there was the curiosity about that was more specific than that.
Was it the drugs that made you curious, or were you curious before the drugs and the drugs gave you the confidence?
Yeah, that's a good question. I sitting here, I don't really know. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, it was absolutely the drugs, because there's two schools of thought that the drugs, open doors that are already somewhere in that house, or that they create them, So I don't know. It never happened without the insane amounts of crack. So
really.
No.
What are insane amounts of?
Like the stuff that you were asking about,
Yeah.
when the cartel says, hey, your man is dealing.
So he drinks tiger's blood, 7 gram rocks of coke. Yep. Patty says, thanks for making me nauseous. Gen X thinks that's funny. You know, when I thought about that, it reminded me of the Platoon scene, which I always thought was a great movie. I still do, but now I think, like, how fucking gay is this scene right here? This is more than likely like when it all started.
In the underworld, Taylor.
Well, this here ain't Taylor. Taylor been shot. This man here is Chris. He been resurrected.
Look at the way he's waving at him. And remember, he's like, first time. He's like, well, then the worm is definitely turned for you, man.
First time?
Yeah.
Then the worm has definitely turned for you, man. Feel good?
Yeah, it feels good. I got no pain in my neck, man.
Feeling good's good enough. Put your mouth on this.
So when we asked ourselves, like, why is everybody gay? Maybe it was because they watched Platoon one too many times. Charlie Sheen, he wants everybody to know that it's not butt sex. And we'll go from him to Victor Marx. When you think it can't get any worse.
It's been confirmed that Charlie Kirk is now in heaven after being shot at a rally in Utah. He's only there to bring truth, be a light. The manifestation of evil is increasing.
Oh no, Grateful's internet died. We better wait for her to get back before we play that one. That's her state, Colorado. Yeah, this is the Colorado guy. We'll wait for her internet. The young lifeguard that Trump was trying to make himself look important for, trying to make himself a hero instead of the lifeguard. A reporter got scolded.
Just scale back on those.
Quiet. You're very disrespectful in front of this young man. Okay? Don't you find her disrespectful? He understands. Quiet. Who are you with?
I'm with CNN.
Fake news.
I just wanted to follow up on the Korea question.
You're a loud, boisterous person. You're fake news.
I was trying to find out if you had been talking to Kim Jong-un, if he had asked you to scale back on the military exercise. Just scale back.
Yep. There she is. Her internet died. Okay, let's go back to the Victor Marx. I'll rewind a little bit here.
He's only there to bring truth, be a light. The manifestation of evil is increasing. Please pray for Eric and his now widow and their 2 kids. Pray for the security team that the trauma of this happening the shooter's in custody. No doubt a man that's just demonized, full of evil.
Full of evil. Like cutting a cat.
Very few men are willing to even risk making the ultimate sacrifice to advance the kingdom and stand against evil. Charlie wrote the foreword for my book, Dangerous Gentleman. He lived it. He was it. The enemy won't be glorified through this. God will redeem it all. Satan will regret this.
Satan will regret this. Yeah, that was for you, Grateful. This guy is a fucking tool, right? And, you know, unfortunately, it's going to be a whole bunch of people like him that get voted in. Not just my prediction, because that's just what's happening. Stu Peters. The Trump Superstore is going out of business. I didn't know there was a Trump Superstore, but apparently in Chattanooga. And those are all the videos I have, I think. Let me scroll back up through here. Not a whole lot going on. Other than people losing their jobs, you know. Trump. Having data centers allows you to compete. No one cares. Natalie Harp, here we go again, is a bone cancer survivor who only lived because Trump greenlit the right to try an experimental treatment when you were terminal. Yeah, I'm gonna end it there, guys. I gotta get a move on. He got away with bad stuff, Lone Berber, but don't know why. Oh yeah, he's the dude that whatever that guy's name was. She's a Republican representing Colorado, another kook patty. My state too. Look up Lauren Boebert's son. Let me see here. Tyler Boebert, 21-year-old son of U.S. Representative Laura Boebert, was arrested in Garfield County on 5 felony charges, including sexual exploitation of a child and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Something about a 17-year-old girl from 2024. Wow. Sounds like a good kid. He also was breaking in cars and shit. Yeah. Everyone's getting paid off. They are disgusting. Yep, we got to push back, guys. That's why we do this show. One person at a time. All right, y'all. I got to get going. Head to the store and get my strawberries for the day so I can get to the admin building. Thanks for hanging out. Patty Grateful, Stony, Adam, Gen X. Pretty much in. Gerard was here. So yeah, thanks guys, and we will talk to you all soon.